Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to have some empties with a special emphasis on mascara. And these empties are skincare, and these empties are also makeup, and even a few other unexpected things. So let's get to it. Okay, 2 baskets full here. And let's get started with some skincare, shall we? First off, this is, I'll read the label, it says, Active Softening Essence. The company is called Mellow, M-E-L-L-O-W. It's actually some kind of Chinese brand. I got this as part of a skincare gift set at a little shop in Atlantic City on Tennessee and Atlantic Avenues that I don't even know is still there anymore. And this was like, set me back all of $3, I think, and it had, there were like 3 different skincare formulas for, I guess, for oily, normal, and dry skin or something like that. But anyway, this was whatever the anti-aging thing was from it, and I have used it up. And this was before I was able to have access to the really good skincare. So this was just something to have that was better than nothing. So I'm not going to repurchase it again. Okay, this is Empty Wet Ones Sensitive Skin Hand Wipes. I like to have 2 main kinds of hand cleaners. The actual antibacterial hand sanitizers, and then I like to have something that isn't really harsh that I could actually get in my face if I want to. It won't hurt me if I wipe my eye with it or something, but just keep in mind these are not antibacterial, and they're really good to have. Now I'm fresh out of my 30 volume peroxide for doing my hair. This is a Clairol Professional Soy 4-plex activator, clear oxide. And I used to use 20 volume to bleach my roots and prepare myself for the dye. But now I've been probably for a good 10 years now, I've been using the 10. So yeah, and it's totally empty, and I absolutely do need to get it replaced. Now, some bleaches recommend a creamier peroxide. Oh, and there's another kind of peroxide that I want. I have a hair dye that is a permanent purple. It's the L'Oreal Excellence High Color Violets for dark hair only. And this color is H19 True Violet. The tube is floating around here someplace. Anyway, this needs a 30 volume peroxide. They recommend a 30 volume for L'Oreal. And you know what? I looked at it earlier today, and I definitely can't see the thing now. But anyway, it's a different kind of peroxide that I need to get so I can use that. Even though, from my experience, the permanent purples are not nearly as bright as these colors here. And if I can't get the bright and dark color I want, then, you know, what's the point? Okay, back to skincare and different things, empties here. This is a retinol makeup cleansing cloths by a company called Global Beauty Brands. These have no texture on them, and they really don't do very much. You probably need 2 instead of 1 to do the job, but they're better than nothing. They're refreshing. They're also good for wiping you down if you feel that you're grimy and sweaty, you know, in your arms, your armpits, or whatever. But just because they say retinol, don't be fooled into thinking they're like the equivalent of your anti-aging skincare. But they're better than nothing. And I got these at the dollar store. So considering you get 30 big wipes for the price, but just don't expect that you're going to be as good as Neutrogena or the ones that you're going to get at Claire's or different places. So, but they're better than nothing. So, Now, there, as far as some other skincare that I got from the dollar store that I definitely will purchase again, they have these jarred face masks, and one kind actually has charcoal in it, and it will turn your face a gray, kind of like, not quite black face, but you know, that gray kind of thing. And a jar is actually 1.7 ounces, which is the same size as your Peter Thomas Roth masks, as your Avon masks. 1.7 ounces is pretty standard size for a lot of your day creams, and including made by your high-end companies. And this is good after you've already done your two-step makeup cleanse, as one other way to help get out the impurities. That charcoal is really good for getting dirt and impurities out of the skin, just like charcoal is good to help purify water. So this is an additional step if you've been wearing a lot of makeup throughout the week and you want something else after your cleanse method, but before you go back to your nighttime skincare. I would recommend this, and the price is definitely right. Now with these masks, they're not going to fully dry, though you've put them on kind of thickly, and you can keep them on. It says 10 minutes. You can keep them on 20 minutes or even 30. It doesn't matter. Then you just wipe them off with a damp washcloth. Maybe rinse that washcloth out, wipe down one more time, and then when your skin's dry, then proceed with your nighttime skincare. Or if your skincare is close to noon, close to sunrise because you're doing things late at night, just maybe top off your skincare with sunblock if you know the sun's going to be streaming in your window any minute, or if it's just about to. So, another box that I emptied and I will purchase again is their gold mask by Global Beauty Brands. And it comes in a 1.7 ounce jar. And it gives a sheer gold look on the skin. It actually has real gold powder in it, and aloe vera and a bunch of other things. Again, I got this at the 99-cent store. And I am definitely, I got more of it. This is what it looks like. I did get a duplicate of it. It goes on. I don't want to get an applicator out of it, but you can see what it looks like. It feels very refreshing. According to the fine print, it's supposed to have anti-aging properties. Hey, that's good enough for me. It's just something indulgent that feels good on the skin to put on after you've already done your double cleansing method, whatever that is. Just put it on your face for, like, I would say a half hour. Then wipe it off. You don't have to do a full-on rinsing. If this has anti-aging properties, I wouldn't really go out of my way to wash it off too hard. Then go on with your regular skincare. And then if it's really close to the sun up, like considering how late I'm filming this, top it off with the sunblock. You know, everything, always try, see how it goes with the sunblock. The worst that can happen is you may have some pilling and you find out that not all brands are compatible. But always check to see if something works with the sunblock. Okay. Now, getting back to our empties. All of these hair dye. Punky Colors Purple. Punky Colors Plum. You see most of this color here in the front. This main dark color here. This is your Punky Colors Plum. I really like this shade a lot. This is a good all-purpose shade. I really recommend it. If you love purple, that's a wonderful shade. Another empty I have here is a Punky Colors Purple. Now this is interesting. I'm going to show you something. Both of these are the color Punky Colors Purple. And yet, look at the differences on the label. Both supposed to be the same color, but both have different colored labels. Isn't that a little messed up? Well, I buy them, I use them. Doesn't matter. Okay, here's a empty is something that is not good. I am a bit of a connoisseur of coffee, but I will get my coffee in the cheap places more than anything else because, that's what I can afford. And this was at a Dollar Tree. This is a hazelnut coffee, and it's put by the company. All it says is roasted ground premium quality coffee. Every other time I've gotten any coffees there, including hazelnut coffee, which is one of my favorite flavors as far as flavored coffees go. Every time the coffees have been pretty decent. But this particular brand, I don't know what it is. It tasted like it had molten plastic in it. It tasted very chemically. It tasted very obnoxious. It tasted very toxic. Oh my God, this tasted terrible. Usually I buy something, I use it up to the very end. I didn't use this up. I switched to, I went to Save a Lot, and I got their house brand, whatever it's called. I got their decaf, and I got their regular, and I got some of their dark roast. I like to mix half decaf with half regular when I drink my coffee. But anyway, this is one batch of coffee that I bought that I did not finish the rest of. I'm going to donate this to the birds. I don't think any charity deserves this. So, yeah, if you ever see this particular label of hazelnut coffee, and the company says distributed by Greenbrier International Incorporated, 500 Volvo Parkway, Chesapeake, Virginia, made in Mexico. That's a shame because Mexico makes some really good coffee. I have this Mexican grocery store I go to sometimes. That's where I have to go to get my tortilla chips now because the kind I want isn't sold at 7-Eleven. So they have some really good coffee, like Caribe brand and Nagoya brand. They have all these exotic kind of south of the border coffees I'll get, and they're cheaper than the American coffee. And I like good coffee. I don't care where it comes from. So, here's another empty for me from Punky Colors. It's their Spring Green. And I went through a 5-year phase where I had green bangs. And this is what this green looks like. But you could see that part is dried in the end. It's actually lighter than that. This gives you an idea of what the color is. So, and it's got they have a good smell to them. They have like a fruity smell. I'm not going to say that it smells lime. I'll still say it smells more like grape. So, now, this is another of my empties. This is Kiss Express color. And this color is royal purple. That's one of the colors that I have on me here. Here's a bunch of makeup that are empties for me. This is from Santee Cosmetics. It is a eyeshadow trio. Maybe it would be better for me to turn the light out for you. This is a chartreuse kind of color, actually more yellow than chartreuse. And it has a purple and it has a hot pink. They're all matte colors. And I used the heck out of these as much as I could. They're very chalky though. And this is what the yellow color looks like. Because they're very chalky, if you try to apply them wet, that doesn't usually intensify the color the way it normally would. It actually gives more of a watercolor thing. But I used the purple up almost all the way, as you can see. But they're ready to go to makeup heaven. This is, and there are two makeup pencils that look kind of similar from a distance that are both were both very serious disappointments. One was from NYC Color, and the other is from NYX, NYX. And they're both purple pencils, and they both were disappointing. They both would not lay onto my skin, and they both were not waterproof. As soon as the air hit my eyeballs and my eyes watered, the color came off of them. So even though they were like $2, $3 each, they were just not worth it. This is a eyeliner. This is a Wet n Wild H2O proof. It's supposed to be waterproof eyeliner. On me, it's not. It's just not. It has certain things that would be attractive. You can control the sponge. It's kind of like a sponge marker brush. It's rigid, but it also feathers out the where your line puts it. It gets thicker after you put your pressure off the thing, and it'll get thicker than what you intended. But the biggest complaint I had is the fact that it claims to be waterproof, and on me, it was not. Here's a lipstick that I used up. This is the Katy Kat Matte line of lipsticks, and it's by CoverGirl, and the color is called Cosmo Kitty, which is a dark lavender. Maybe this give you a better idea of what the color is supposed to be like. Anyways, you could see I used it up all the way, and I used it up so much it even started to get that rancid taste. Here's some more lipsticks that I used up. This was a Milani lipstick called Magenta Madness, and this is a color that I love so much that I have sometimes used it as eyebrow color. Not right now though. I love it so much that I did get its replacement. Milani lipsticks have a really tasty smell, kind of a perfumey smell, a luxury cologne smell, and yet not offensive to the point where you're thinking, would I worry about having this in my mouth? It just smells good. It's hard to explain. And it reminds me of something. I'm not sure what it is, but I like the smell of Milani lipsticks. And they're not too expensive either. I think they're under $5. And that Magenta Madness is an absolutely perfect color. Now, this color is Maybelline Vivid Matte Liquid Lipstick. And I don't have the label on it anymore, so I can't even tell you what the color is. But you can see this gorgeous purple color. Isn't that a gorgeous color? I didn't think there was anything left on it. But it dries down to a matte. And matte liquid lip colors, they don't tend to last too long, I noticed. They tend to really dry out. And speaking of, I'm going to show you some from B&H Cosmetics. This is a B&H Cosmetics liquid lip color, and I can't really see the label. Wait a minute, I beg your pardon. Hold on. Yeah, I thought that I had access to a magnifying glass real easy. If so, I could have read you these labels, but I can't. So I'm just going to show you a series of B&H Cosmetics liquid lipsticks that dried out that I can't use anymore, but that I used to have and are now going to Makeup Heaven. Here's another one. Oh, and these also have ended up being eyebrow colors before they were absolutely totally dried out. You know, I believe in getting as much use out of something as I can. Okay, this is a Revlon Color Stay liquid lipstick, and this color is called Black Cherry. And this has been a very good color match for my hair color sometimes. But this is like a burgundy fuchsia purple, like a pinky kind of purple. And this doe foot applicator makes it very convenient to use with other colors that you want to use as an eyebrow color applicator. I like it that it has kind of a flat side, and you could take advantage of the thicker part of your eyebrow. And so this is a good applicator to save. I really recommend that. Save these kind of just like you would cut off and save your mascara applicators, because you can wash them off and you can use them. I'm definitely going to keep this applicator. Here is a waterproof, was supposed to be waterproof eyeliner. This is the L'Oreal Telescopic Waterproof. I really wasn't too happy with this. The good thing about it is it has a really fine line, and if you want to make it thicker, you press harder. The cons about this for me, it was never truly waterproof. Also, this point can get very sharp, and you don't want to poke yourself with it. I'm glad when I poked myself, it was more in the corner here, but I would say it would be very treacherous to poke yourself in the eyeball with this. But I really hate it when these products claim to be waterproof and they're not. And so that was a very serious disappointment. Now, their mascara I like, but, oh, and you shake the ball to get it to mix whatever, but it was never waterproof on me. That was a disappointment. And it wasn't cheap either. It was like $8, $9, $10, something like that. To me, that's not cheap. Okay, this is a pencil. I think this might be the Wet n Wild color icon. I don't know. It's about a year old now, and I noticed that it doesn't seem like it has too much drag on here. But on my eyes, it does. That's not what I have on here. But I tried using this a couple of days ago, and it dragged. And you never want anything that's dragging on your eyes. Maybe this might be okay for use as a lip pencil, but for eye pencil, things that drag will contribute to wrinkles, because they will stretch your skin out in your area. The older you get, the less elasticity your skin has. The parts that used to stretch back like a rubber band will, you know how older rubber bands, they snap, they won't stretch back. Or if you ever had the waistband of a perfect pair of pants or a skirt you haven't worn for a while, and you put it on and you notice it stretches out of shape and it doesn't stretch back, even when you wash it and let it air dry. That's because the elastic is worn out. And so sometimes if your eye makeup gets so that it pools and doesn't glide, then you got to get rid of it, because it's just going to create wrinkles. You know, and it's a shame, because obviously it would have had some time. But you know what? Not for the face. If it's going to do that, it's got to go. Okay. All right, here are 2 lip stains from ELF, E-L-F. One thing I have to tell you about these stains, they are not waterproof. I made the mistake in using one of these as an eyebrow color, and then I went out in the ocean. I went swimming, and when I came back in out of the water, the eyebrow makeup washed off right away. So these things don't stain for very long. And if you eat, forget about it. If you're swimming, forget about it. So yeah, the applicators are kind of pointy. So when you're trying to follow your lip line, I don't know, when you're dealing with an applicator that's really pointy, it's easy to, you'll be perfect for like a second, and then you'll get a little out of the line, and then you'll try to fix it by going a little out of the line on the other side, and before you know it, you have this big exaggeration. And it's really hard with the stain to correct your mistakes, because even though it's not waterproof, it's still, I don't know, they're not easy to control. So I really wasn't too thrilled with them, and I won't be buying them again. Okay, this is a lipstick. It's actually, I think, a lip balm or something. It's really so sheer, it's ridiculous. Look, I can hardly see that at all. So I'm throwing that out, not getting it again. This is an empty, but I'm not throwing it out. This is a MAC lipstick, and this was a black, and the color was called Media. And I read somewhere that if you save 10 empty MAC lipsticks, you can get a free MAC lipstick. So save your empties if they're MAC. I believe that's true with your lip glosses also. Save your packaging, and if you get 10 of them, you get a free lipstick or lip gloss from MAC. This is makeup that I used up. This is from a color called Prestige, and this is an eyeshadow. And I can't read what the color may have been, but it's a burgundy kind of a color with a bit of a frost that you can apply wet or dry. And as you can see, this is what it looks like dry. Okay, here is an empty container of CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser. This was just a trial size, so this is not a very big container. And I cut it open so that I could get absolutely everything out of it. I love sample sizes. This is a way for me to experiment with things I wouldn't get a chance to try otherwise. So that was good. It actually did seem to get my makeup off. So I will say that. Oh, here's another hair dye. And this is from the Sparks brand. And Sparks brand, long-lasting, bright hair color. And this was their purple shade, and it is called Purple Passion. I have used this before. I think it's a little less bright than this. I think it's a little bit more on the plum side than this color that is ironically called plum. So I think that was my only beef with it. And I think as it faded, it looked too gray. This is one of my main foundations, and I ran out of. It's Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and that's the color 102 Porcelain, which is the lightest shade they have. I really like that a lot. I'm sorry that I had 2 bottles of this and 2 bottles of the, what's the other one besides Fit Me? True Match. The True Match it has a nice pale shade in it too. Those are my current foundations, so I'm sorry to see that go. Here is a solid makeup compact from Colormates, and they only comes in a light, medium, and a dark, and this was the light. As you can see, I got every last little bit out. Solid makeups like this, they're not as full color coverage as I would like, but a solid makeup like this is really great if you're going someplace where security won't allow you any liquids. This makeup will get you past security if you're going to Washington, D.C. and you're going to the Capitol building, for instance. A solid or a powder makeup, I really recommend. Solid, especially because a solid is a perfect layer for your eyeshadow, for your eyelids, for your eyeshadow to grab onto. And these work well with sunscreen, so because you can't go without sunscreen. But when I'm thinking about security, solid makeup is definitely something I go to all the time. Plus, it doesn't weigh very much when you're talking about stuff that you're packing. You think how much those little glass bottles of liquid weigh, and you think if something like that little packet, that palette of that compact makeup, they don't weigh nearly as much. So it's another plus for them. Okay, something else I'm very sorry to see go. This is from Max Factor. This is called their first coat. This is almost white colored cream that you put on your eyelid after you put rest of your skincare on. And this is what you put on, and then you put your eyeshadow, all your eye makeup, and this gives your eyeshadow something to grab onto. I would definitely would purchase this again. It's really not so easy to find Max Factor products anymore. But they were started by a man that did makeup for the movies. So that's a company with a storied history. And I really have enjoyed my use of their products through the years, especially when I was a stage dancer and I lived in Hollywood. There was a Max Factor store literally 2 blocks away. So I had a good time with uh, going to that store. They had an outlet store where you could get their foundations, which I'm sure they don't make anymore, that were totally suitable for working under the stage lights, and your sweat just went through the makeup and dripped off of it and ran off of it and didn't disturb the makeup. And they really made good stuff. So if I could find a similar formula again, I would buy it in a heartbeat. I'd be afraid of how much it would be. Here's another empty thing. This is from Avon. This is a combination of blusher and lip stain. And I love the color. I'm only getting rid of it because it got so old. There got to be a film on top of it. And I would be afraid to put it on my skin now. And that's the thing, is you have to watch out for makeup. When it gets so old that it gets a funny smell to it, then you should definitely get rid of it, because it's not worth getting some kind of an infection or something through having bacterial growth on makeup. Not worth it. And I had that so many years. Another thing I've had a long time is from ELF, ELF. This is their high dimension blush. And I had 2 shades of pink. I had this one and I had another shade. And this one, the plunger that is used to pump, the pump display is jammed in there and I can't get it to lift out. The other one, where it's easier for me to administer product, I gave to a friend. But this, I can't imagine somebody's going to feel like digging it out and risk getting it all over themselves. And they have enough product in here for a person can have it for 100 lifetimes. It's ridiculous. So stuff is actually going to end up getting thrown in the trash. And I feel bad because I like to separate the plastics and all the recyclable materials and stuff. When something is that unusable, then, Here's something that is from a company that I did business with so long ago. It's called Aroma Lee, and they're made in USA. They make powder eyeshadows, and this is supposed to be fixative that you're supposed to mix with these eyeshadow powders to make them like eyeshadows that stick to the eyelid for longer. And the thing is, I didn't find this to perform any different than Absolute straight tap water did. And their eyeshadows were never waterproof for me. Matter of fact, they were so vulnerable to the weather that if I put them on my eyelids, no matter what I put underneath them, whenever I would go outside, the wind would literally make the eyeshadows run. So I don't buy from that company anymore. Now, here are Oh, here's another lipstick that I used up. This is from Nicka K Cosmetics, and the color is number 997 Violet. Let me turn the light out for you so that you can see what the color really looks like. But that goes in the trash now. Oh, here's the other purple pencil. This, I believe, is from Wet n Wild. And this never did any good. It didn't stick on my eyelid either. At one point, I did use it as an eyebrow color, and I can't even get any more at that point. It's very tricky. I'm going to try with a sharpener, and I'm going to see if I can get any more. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can get any of that sharpened. See if I can. Let's see if I can get any eyebrow color. All right, I've sharpened that some, and use up everything I can. Why not, right? This is from e.l.f. This is an eyeliner and shadow stick, and they called the color plum. And this is literally all that's left. This is a thicker part that could be used as an eyeshadow. I also use this as a natural strawberry blonde brow color. This came out about yo big, and this had a finer area. It came out like this, and it was like an eyeliner, and it was a very light plum color, like almost a cafe au lait color, and it's gone now. This was a lip balm. The flavor, it said Make Out Magic, and the flavor was supposed to be pink grapefruit, and it didn't have any color or anything. It was just like a lip balm. Okay. Now, these are some skincare I used up from Yves Rocher. Inositol, that is a eye cream, and I use it up so much that I actually cut up the tube and fit one side in another. And it's a good way of using up a tube of something. Here's another thing from Yves Rocher called Serum Vegetal. This is an eye cream. Oh, it's a little tiny bit left. Put some under here because it can't hurt, right? Oh, even though I'm putting it on over top of makeup. Now this has niacinamide in it. This is actually I got from Dollar Tree. It's from a company called Skin Nutritions, and it says Age Defy Dark Circle and Puffiness Serum. If you actually look in the list of ingredients, you'll find that niacinamide is very high in the list of ingredients, and niacinamide is great for evening out your skin tone. It's good for reducing puffiness. It's good for reducing dark spots and skin discolorations. So niacinamide is definitely something that you should encourage and you should put as a part of your skincare routine. So when I saw that these were at Dollar Tree, and these balls, they feel very cooling. Even when the thing itself has been run out of whatever the product is, they feel really good. They would be good stored in your refrigerator. You could use these ball applicator things with other skincare ingredients. And it feels really good. See? And you'll find that some high-end products are being packaged like this. So, if you see them, you should definitely get them. The price was right. You see this, you should get it. This is from Nivea. Nivea Multiple Results Night Serum Concentrate. I got 3 of these in the same beauty supply place that I get my hair dye. And I used them up. Now, this doesn't have powerhouse ingredients in it. That's the only thing, is that I'm a stickler for reading the ingredients, and it just says water, isodecyl, neopentanoate, glycerin, alcohol denatured, polyglycerol 3, metal glucodisteria, panthenol, cetyl alcohol, C12, 12, 15, alkyl benzoate, creatine, methylhydantone, imide tocopherol acetate, sodium ascorbyl phosphate, ubiquinone, butylene glycol, fragrance, carbomer, EDTA, sodium hydroxide, phenoxyethanol, methylparaben, isodecopropanol, butylocarbamate. So, it doesn't seem to have any powerhouses in there, but the price was right. But anyway, I used that up. Used up some more of my No-Ad SPF 30. And now that it's starting to get warmer and there's more UVs coming through the windows, I switched to SPF 50, 50. Matter of fact, I'll show you what I'm using now. Now I'm using the Max Block 50 sunscreen lotion. Goes on real thick. It goes on thick and goopy, but you know what? It does sink in, and it's really not that annoying. You get used to it. It sinks in a couple hours. It's like it's not even there. When you think of all the other skincare that you have, the stuff really does sink in, so it's not so bad. Even if you have oily skin, and I have oily skin. Okay, this is something else I used up. This is from Avon. This is their Naturals brand. They have honey lemon scent, and that's my favorite. They also have a vanilla scent, but the honey lemon was my favorite. I'm always sure that there's things that I forgot. Oh, yes, there is. Oh my goodness, the most important part of this video, and I almost forgot. I really wanted to showcase mascaras. Affordable drugstore mascaras. What is good and especially what's not. I swear I've never tried out so many disappointing low-end mascaras, and I'm like reviewing most of them for you now. Now, this is the Supersizer Fibers by CoverGirl. I really wanted to love this mascara. When I saw that Zendaya had the campaign as a spokesperson for it, I wanted to love this mascara because she's adorable, and I really liked her in different interviews. She seems really cool and really smart and really talented young lady. But this mascara did nothing for me. I tried the waterproof version. I tried the non-waterproof version. This is supposed to have fibers in it. If it has fibers in it, it never felt like it did anything for my lashes. I just did not care for it. Also, even though it has this really neat kind of shaped brush, it was always clumpy for me. I never felt that it had any fibers on it. Another thing I didn't care for is that maybe because I have thin hands, I have small hands, the handle seemed thick and awkward, and I would have liked a thinner handle myself. It would have felt more graceful in the hand, would have given me options, because there's different ways of handling a makeup brush. everybody doesn't hold a brush the same way, and it would be nice to have options. And I just did not ever like this. If it had fibers, it didn't feel like it did. Fibers should make a difference in what your lashes look like, and it did nothing for me. I can't tell you how many times I was disappointed in this. It was never good for me. Now, this was a waterproof mascara I grabbed in an emergency when I just needed anything waterproof. It's better than nothing. It was waterproof, I'll give you that. Oh, this is by Wet n Wild, and it's called Max Volume. Max Volume Waterproof. It does what it's supposed to do as far as being waterproof. If you need a low-cost waterproof mascara, this does the trick. It is waterproof, so you can remove it using any oil-based makeup remover. Like you can use your coconut oil, and you can take it off. But that said, even though it is waterproof, it's not a great mascara. It doesn't make something out of nothing. It's just, it's okay. And soon it dries out and it clumps. It's not great. It's just not a great mascara. So I was disappointed in it. Plus, the handle is big, and if your hands are small and delicate, it's just this big thing that you're grabbing onto, and it's not the most ergonomic handle. Now, here's another disappointing mascara. The CoverGirl Flamed Out. From the time I opened it up, first of all, this was supposed to be waterproof, and it never was. Second of all, even though at first I thought, what a cool brush, it was never, it was still clumpy for me. The waterproof part never worked. What I am going to do is I am going to cut it off of here so that I can reuse the brush, because mascara wands should be reused. They have so many uses. In addition to you can use a brush that you like and put it in a cheaper formula to try to get a look of a higher end mascara from a cheaper formula. But it takes more than just the brush itself. The formula has to be decent. But it's good to have save your wands. So I'm going to save that. But this mascara, they probably didn't have a very big ad campaign because people figured out it wasn't that good, and I guess it wasn't worth spending all that money to advertise it, huh? Now, here's another mascara that was totally useless. This is from a company called LA Colors, and it's called Big Fool Lash. This was really disappointing. Even though it has a brush that's kind of on the decent shape and size, it's still, there's no thickness to the formula. And so you put it on your lashes, and if your lashes are these tiny little nothing lashes like mine are, this is next to useless. It's really disappointing. And this is something I got at the Dollar Tree, so maybe I should have known better. But yeah, I want to give things a try because you get some really serious gems there. But I was very disappointed in this. It just gave no impact at all. It's almost as if I was combing water on my lashes, except for there was some darkness, but it just had no impact at all. I was very, very disappointed. Another disappointment was Wet n Wild magazine, Wet n Wild mascara called Mega Plump, and this has a kind of okay brush, but the formula just didn't do anything for my lashes. It gave it some darkening, but the formula was too thin to have any kind of impact at all. It certainly doesn't have any fibers or anything. I don't know what they think of it being a plumping formula. I don't know how you can make uh, your eyelashes plump, but and plus the holding it feels fat and awkward in my hand. I would like something that's thinner, but that doesn't go on with the illusion of thicker lashes, so I guess that's why they want something thicker. But this was a disappointment from day one. Now, here's another mascara that I'm really not happy about. And this is Wet n Wild Mega Wear. And this was always kind of thick. It was not, but it didn't really add to the length at all. It didn't claim to be waterproof, so that didn't bother me. But it just didn't really have any kind of impact at all. It was just it was worth the dollar I paid. Let's put it that way. It was just really disappointing. I'm not going to get it again. So, one mascara that I am going to buy again, but they're not making it anymore. This is from B&H Cosmetics. This is their Fierce Volume Extreme. I love this mascara. Why won't they make it again? I don't know. First of all, look at this brush. Look, the brush is big. It has some combs on it. It has some brushes on it. The cone parts of it make sure it gets out any clumps. The top part of it is shaped in such a way that it catches your tiniest little lashes. Your lashes that have curl on them, it catches. Your lashes that are straight, it catches. This brush is it's thick, but it has the comb. You turn it around, and you're able to comb the clumps out of your lashes. This is the best of all these mascaras that I showed you now. This is the only really good one. And don't you know, when you go to try to order from B&H Cosmetics, they don't make this mascara anymore. And I have written to them, I told them how much I loved it. So if you ever have this, anybody's hoarding this, of course, if it's dried out, then it wouldn't be any good anyway. But this is good mascara. Really good mascara. Okay. Well, that looks like my empties so far this year, with an emphasis on mascaras and skincare, all kinds of old makeup that I am taking to close heaven, or rather, makeup heaven. If you like me and my makeup video, all these empties, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you think it sucks, give it a thumbs down. If you like me and my content, I would love to have you subscribe. And when you hit that bell notification, hit it so that it looks like it's vibrating. That means that you will be telling YouTube that you want to see all my new videos. I make 3 new videos a day. I would love to have you along to join my adventures. Me and my 2 cats, they're conveniently out of my room because they decided they didn't want to be part of my video. So, till next time, talk to you soon. Bye.